Good afternoon, First Baptist Church Perkins family and any guest that might be watching this video. We passed out our 2021 budget this morning at the services, and I'm putting this video together to kind of walk through a few things for you. Then Wednesday night at 7:30 in our chapel, we'll have a question, answer, and then a vote to approve the budget. Now realize we're already in 2021 and we're just now doing it. Normally that's not the protocol, the procedure. Normally it's done in November, but obviously with everything that has gone on, your stewardship committee felt it necessary to wait as long as we could, see how November and then into December was going before we put a budget together. And let me just say this, I greatly appreciate Lynn Kinder, Greg Humphrey, Gary Allen, Scott Hefner, Bruce Williams, Ken Jackson, Jeannie Adams, and Jennifer Cox. Listen, church, there's a lot of wisdom in that group, and we met a lot all year, more than normal, due to everything that COVID had impacted our church, not meeting for 10 weeks, not having an online giving option. And so I really appreciate that team. They did an outstanding job talking through things, a lot of wisdom. So if you see them, tell them a thank you for all their hard work and many hours in discussion and meetings, but even communicating through technology. You know, when we wrote our budget for 2020, we had no idea what was going to be going on. Obviously, we increased it by $33,000. This church is just such a faithful giving church, and I'm here to say, even with not meeting for 10 weeks and no online giving and all that's happened, and yeah, attendance being about 65–70% of what it normally was before COVID. Listen to these numbers. With our budget even increasing, we met our budget by 98%. We were just $10,000 under budget, but at the end of November, our receipts were $38,000, almost $39,000 greater than our expenses. Obviously, we spent less because of everything, and that's just November. December's been a really good offering, and we'll have our December and our final end of the year numbers at our January business meeting. But not only that, as far as the church, we also gave not only our loan payment each month of about $4,600. Because of extra giving by folks, we were also able to make almost $23,000 in additional payment to reduce that loan amount. And I anticipate our January business meeting, due to how well December offering was and where we are financially, I anticipate giving another great report as far as receipts much greater than expenses, and as far as the stewardship paying off even more towards our loan. We got our loan payment down to under $300,000. And that is amazing when you consider when we took that thing out in, I think it was August of 2018, our loan was $584,000. And just in these little over 2 years, we are already down to under $300,000. So thank you, church family. But not only that, you know, this past year with everything, we've seen 28 new members, and we've had at least 8 baptisms. That's down. We're making efforts to get that back up where it normally is for our church. So just wanted to give you, there'll be some more really good financial news come January business meeting when we have our final end of year reports. But let me walk through this for you. The first section, 100 section, those are percentages based on the budget, so they only change with the budget. And the mission committee, which oversees that, they talked extensively about what to do, and they felt, you know, we're going to keep those at the same percentages. The next page are our personnel. That's the 200 lines. That's all personnel. And really the only change there, if you remember, at the end of September, which then went into effect 1st of October, we made the transition of Joe Allen becoming associate pastor, and then Brandon Martin became our interim youth minister. And so basically Joe's salary became the youth and the contemporary worship salary, which he was already getting paid for doing both. So that we just combined those, and then we had to create a new salary for our interim youth minister, which at that meeting, it's a 39 weeks, about part-time, 10 hours a week, and then about 13 weeks during the summer, full-time. And then there was just one adjustment to our nursery hourly workers whenever we have special events. Jennifer felt necessary to decrease that a little bit. Page 5, which is our Christian education ministry. You know, as you're going to be able to see from this page on, almost every line was reduced. We just asked that the staff, the teams and committees that are over every budget line, what can you do without this next year? Because we don't know what the impact's going to be, and we want to be wise with the money that is given to the Lord through the church. And so you're going to notice from this point on, almost all lines have been decreased. And I appreciate all the staff and the teams and committees that made these adjustments. So you kind of see those lines right there, and it's just based on the fact that we need to reduce our expenses just in preparation for. The Right Now Media, that's a fix. That has to stay the same because we're committed to that amount. And our Vacation Bible School didn't change because we've had a really good Vacation Bible School. We continue. We had it last summer, and we continue to have a great Bible school. The next page would be your 400, your church activities ministry. And you see those went down, almost all of those, or stayed the same. Probably the two big things, or three big things, and they impact one another, is, you know, we don't have the brunch anymore. We have donuts. We've just started doing donuts. And so, you know, as when the church council met back in, I think, August or September, I can't remember, we decided to not do the Wednesday night meal anymore. And the brunch, we brought back the Sunday morning brunch, which is just donuts, a great place of fellowship, visiting with folks. So that just covers just donuts and coffee on Sunday mornings. And then the Wednesday night meal, as of right now, we do not plan to do that again. If we do, it may not be until September. And so, but we kept some money in there in case we as a church decided we want to pick that back up in May. And then obviously those two things impact our kitchen supply. So those were some pretty big reductions, but those were lines that we haven't been using, and we don't foresee them at all being used very much, or definitely not where they were in previous years. Page 8 would be our 500 support staff, and probably the two big things there is there's a new line, but really look at the office 503. I think some people think, oh, office, man, that's a lot of paper and pens and copy paper, but it's a lot more than that. And so we broke that into two. If you add 503 in the new line, church IT 504, those two things add up to what the office supplies were in 2020. The church IT, which as a description on the next page, it covers our text messaging service, Flock Notes, our Sunday school, ACS software, our internet provider. It's all in the notes. I can't remember what else it covers. Email provider, QuickBooks, our financial, and our payroll. So those are fixed monthly fees that covers. And that way you kind of see. And then office supplies will be typical office supplies. Our copier and paper and pen and other supplies as needed. And then all the way down the bottom, 516 is a new line. We got online giving up and rolling in April, I think it was 1st of May, April, and very minimal cost, a lot of great opportunities there. But we got a letter a couple weeks ago that's going to increase. There's a cost with that. There's a monthly fee of $7. There's a 30-cent per transaction fee, and there's also a percentage. And so we love that option, as we're just more and more folks with the iPhones and technology. You can pay, you can give your offering online. You go through our church website, there's a giving, and so there's a cost to that. And so that is what that is. It's to cover those costs, which are fixed based on the amount, and if someone uses a debit or a credit card. So that's what that covers. Then page 10 is our 600. Those went down, not a whole lot of change, just anticipated, just trying to ask folks to reduce. And then our 700, which are some big lines. Obviously, Property Drones met and they cut theirs down, but they said they can work with this, just knowing everything. Insurance, we got enough of a cushion this year for insurance, didn't need to change. Utilities, we're still figuring out this building, and the new building that is, and the expense of running it, operating it. And so we're gonna come under budget considerably this year, and so felt comfortable leaving that or moving that down to $18,500. Bus maintenance and gas, we don't have a vehicle right now. We've sold all of our vehicles. We've still got that money in a designated to eventually buy a new vehicle, used, new to us, used. And so we'll do that, but so that is just right there covering that as well. Obviously, the other two items stay the same. And then our loan payment is just our typical monthly mortgage payment, about $4,664.35 a month. And so anyway, so what that ended up doing, that decreased our budget to about from $531,801 to $523,978. And anyway, just kind of wanted to give you a video report, talk through a few things for you. Hopefully that answers some questions. Like I said, not a whole lot, just a few new things, but pretty much everybody did a great job kind of reducing their budget line. Just what can they do without this next year, just not knowing what's going to be transpiring. But here's what I do want to say, man. I want to thank you, church family, just for your faithfulness, for your faithful giving to the Lord through His church at First Baptist Church Perkins. And we just continue to see God move. We continue to see God do some great things. And we're excited about that. We look forward to Falls Creek, to Bible School, to Cross Timbers, to mission trips, to Seeker Springs trip, to ministry in our own community. And at the January business meeting, we'll have another report, because we'll have an end of the year based on that, and looking forward to giving that to you as well. Any questions, don't hesitate to holler at me, call me at the office this week, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. Otherwise, thank you. You all have a great day.